Okay, I have to show. Okay, well, this, strangely enough, when the last time I was there, I think it was in March of 2009 of this year, the last picture I took for the book is this one. So, okay, that's I picked a good page. What I liked about these pairs, let me talk also about this. I thought making a book is not like a photograph because books have 2 pages. It's a binaural experience, unless you do a catalog book with it's white, you have image on one side or text or white on the other, and I have too much photos to do that, so Gerhardt wouldn't want to do that. Then the book would really be thick. So because, some of my detractors, they say, your books are too long. They're so repetitive. I say, well, yours are so, what's the word, fragmentary as to be meaningless. Yeah. I'm not going to say in public who I said that to. Okay, but here's, so I thought, so a book has 2 pages. So I said 1 page has to relate to the other. We're dealing with sets of pairs. So then what I enjoyed about this was, this is done from an angle. And then this is straight on. So, and it's part of the revisitation thing. See, when you go to a place, you have an impression, then you come back and say, I didn't notice that before. It's not like I remembered it. And then you say, next time I want to look at that, or I want to. So this book is a lot about that. And even for me, that's what the process was like. So I realized, sometimes you have an impression of a painting from straight on, sometimes from an angle where you get another impression, another feeling. And so it's a way of having several points, at least 2 points of view on the same thing. So I think that works well, like in a book, because I'm interested, like a book is, unlike a movie, though it's sequential, a movie, the director picks the timing. The temporal aspect is made by the director. But when you do a book, whether it's words or photo book, you're not there turning the pages for the person. Though, when I used to do early presentations, and I used to have to do, like, when you have to bring your portfolio and stuff, I found a really good trick is I'd sit on one side of the table and wait till all the people are on the other side. Then I would turn the pages and I would drop comments as I turn them. It puts everybody on the same page. I said, this is great. This is how you make movies. But I can't do that for all the copies of the book that goes out. So I like books that work backwards and forwards because people thumb through stuff. So that's what I said about volume 2 to 1 to 2 to 3 and 3 to 2 to 1. Though I would say the primary sequence is from 1 to 3. Okay. Okay.
What to photograph first? Did you consider every room? Did you jump around? Did you work systematically?
Okay, well, like over 26 years, there's been a lot of logics. Okay, from, I would say, when I started in 83, all those normal rooms on the, on the first floor, well, American second floor, Corps Central, I hated those rooms, and I liked all of the rooms where there was work being done in, and those is the ground floor. But you know, this was in the 80s. This was like during Mitterrand. He was like Louis XV. I was in that whole drift. So let's say I had my favorites for 2 to 3 years, 4 years. And then I came to the realization, you know, it doesn't matter what my favorites are. I should look at the ones that aren't my favorites. So I did that too. And then over time, those that weren't my favorites, I like that about that. And then, so they grew. It's like they are what do you call it? There's a term they use, an acquired taste. So I acquired other tastes. And then I started to seeing a totality in the whole thing and how they sort of refer back to one another. Like, I'll give you an example. Those Salles de la Croisade, which is of the Crusader stuff. I used to hate those rooms. But 4 or 5 years ago, I realized how fantastic they are, because it's like a 19th century view of the 12th century. And they look so Hollywood, like it reminds me color versions of those films you see on Turner classic movies. And I think the first classic film I ever saw was Intolerance by Griffith, and that's sort of what that was. It's one century's view of several other centuries. This is how, one of the things I also think how the best of American cinema, it's distinguishing the mark. Or say it's distinguishing, that's the word I'm looking for, obsession, is the multi-tracked timeline. Like, starting with Griffith with Intolerance, and, you know, for example, you know, all the works of a guy from Nashville, was the guy who did Nashville. Thank you, Robert Altman. Okay, and I tried to do this in this book. This is why I say it's an American book.
Is there any part of these 3 books where you recognize yourself more than the others?
No, because let me say one thing about me. Some people or some artists, some photographers only shoot what they're like. I shoot everything but what I'm like. Okay, it's another way to go about it. It's like, you know, so you see me through exclusion. Okay, I guess that's Impressionists. Expressionists, they only show them, like, say, Jackson Pollock. It's only him. You know, it's like only he can make these lines. It's sort of like all that abstract expressionist work is signature work. Only my hand can do this. You know, then after 20 years, the hand does this. I never took that seriously. To me, that kind of stuff, it's like, in today's world, is akin to somebody who twiddles his thumb while Rome burns. So it's of no interest to me, but, you know, I am what I am, and I have my limited views like everyone else. So, so it's either nothing to do with me or all to do with me. But I always used first film and photography for what I call knowledge acquisition. You know, astrologically speaking, I'm an Aquarian. Aquarian make up their identity by, oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. And you just take all this stuff and you make up who you are. I think in a way, everybody does that. But this is the Impressionists' way. The expressionists say, I'm like this. And they try to make